Yes, it looks like we're live. Namashishtam manumapi sachipucham achasrupam rupam tasyagrajam urupade matarim goshtavadim radha kundam girivaram aho radhika madhavasham prapto yasya pratita kripaya shri gurun tam natosmi vanchakalpa tirubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaha. So I would like to continue with Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita this morning. Affectionate guidance. And we are on by our Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj. And we reached chapter 20, the one channel of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. And it's interesting because in the previous chapter is called Harmony is Mahaprabhu's Conception. And so it's kind of interesting, these two chapters are juxtaposed because in the previous chapter, Gurudev is, one of the points that he makes here is that we are harmonizing with everyone, whatever their conception is. And he speaks about how Mahaprabhu would visit different kinds of temples when he was in South India. Is it in this chapter that he talks about that? Yes, it is here. He doesn't, reject, does not denounce, other conceptions, but he was respectful, and also, he had the type of potency to be able to bring persons from other conceptions. But anyhow, then in this chapter we've come to, Gurudev is speaking on the exclusivity of our practicing lives, the nature of our exclusivity, that we are adhering strictly to an exclusive mood, conception, style of practice, that is coming from our Param Gurudev and our Gurudev from our point of view. So both of these are two things which must be adjusted. The accommodation, the broadness, and also the fine exclusivity. These are two things that must be adjusted. There is an accommodation and respect for all persons of faith, we can say in a general sense, but there's also internally there's also a clear understanding of the particular line that we are following. So both of these sides are there. It is not that we will be hateful of others and blindly just stick to our own path. And it is also not that we will go and in a very loose and free way mix with everyone and anyone, whatever their conception is. No, but there is something of both sides. And so in this chapter, Srila Gurudev is speaking of the exclusivity. So chapter 20, the one channel of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. I've received a letter describing a society that is being formed by mixing together so many Vaishnava groups. I can clearly say that if the society is made, and I can also mention that there's a very, very valuable talk that Gurudev gave, or one of his earlier talks from 92, where he spoke. It's published on YouTube. There's a channel there, video series of Srila Govinda Maharaj video series. And I'm preparing it into an article, which I hope to publish in the next day or two. But there he speaks extensively about the side of harmony, and not not having this, arrogance in our dealings with those of other lineages, of other gurus, that there should be a family mood and accommodating spirit. So I was very happy, because I haven't come across something of Gurudev's where he discusses that point quite so extensively as he does in that talk there. So it's quite an important talk, and I hope to get it out. Maybe today, we'll see. Yeah. Some very nice points he makes there. And he gave some very nice examples of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and his godbrothers. He spoke about how Srila Sridhar Maharaj and his godbrothers, they would sometimes have these very heated debates. They would strongly disagree with each other, have arguments amongst one another. But at the same time, they maintained their friendliness, their affection, their love. That didn't, those like theological, philosophical disagreements, they did not affect their friendship and appreciation for each other as Vaishnavas. So this idea of unity and diversity. Okay, but here Gurudev is discussing the other side of that. The one channel of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. I've received a letter describing a society that is being formed by mixing together so many Vaishnav groups. I can clearly say that if the society is made in the way described, it is against the principle of Srila Guru Maharaj. It was to avoid this very thing that Srila Guru Maharaj made separately Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. He was in the highest position of the whole Vaishnav community, but he never joined with their missions. Srila Guru Maharaj did not want to be deviated from his own vision by any of his godbrothers or other gurus. Therefore, he made Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Furthermore, Srila Saraswati Thakur gave the charge of the Rupanuga Sampradaya to Srila Guru Maharaj. It is clear and everyone knows it. So many stalwart Vaishnavas made big societies and invited Srila Guru Maharaj to be their president. For the time being, in some cases, he accepted and told them, if it will help to bring harmony to your society, then you can use my name. But he himself never went back there. Srila Guru Maharaj gave very clear directives for his sampradaya, saying, who wants to follow me and my directives, he can come to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math and follow Govinda Maharaj as my successor. He gave very clear directives on many occasions and in many ways, and everyone knows it. I do not want to create any chaos or disturbance in our community. Whatever qualification and position I have was all given by Srila Guru Maharaj for his service, and I shall try to maintain that. What is the meaning of preceptorial line? This word preceptorial means that it must be in one channel, not several channels. The Ganges is not flowing within several channels. It is flowing through one channel. And who wants Ganges water must come to that channel. When a channel leaves the Ganges, that is not Ganges water. The Ganges water is running in the main channel. This is the situation with our preceptorial line. Srila Guru Maharaj told the devotees clearly that he could not continue holding the charge of the preceptorial line. Therefore, he is giving that charge to Govinda Maharaj. And I am trying as much as is possible by me. I do not want to disturb anyone or anyone's mission, but whoever is a sincere seeker coming to me, and whoever is my friend in the line of Srila Guru Maharaj, I want their association and I want to continue with them. I want to practice my service with them. I do not want to make a hodgepodge. Therefore, I avoid any proposal that is not in an exclusive way to Srila Guru Maharaj. I want to express the truth clearly. I do not want to disturb anyone's mood. Therefore, if anyone comes with another proposal, I give some excuse. But actually that excuse is not the reason. Rather, I do not want to mix with the mood of others. Someone is giving Sahajiya Sankirtan in their mat, but it is not possible for me to do like this in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat. That is the exclusiveness of Srila Guru Maharaj in his service to the Rupanuga Sampradaya, and I cannot break it. I must follow the instructions of Srila Guru Maharaj, and that is my opinion. Another Acharya gave initiation to disciples of Srila Guru Maharaj and disciples of mine, and gave sannyas to Srila Guru Maharaj's disciples. But by doing so, that sannyasi diverted them to his own sampradaya. I have no problem for that, but I cannot consider them as our sampradaya's members. It is very clear. It is very clear means that Srila Guru Maharaj said, I have previously given him, Govinda Maharaj, the charge of the mat, and now I am giving him the full responsibility of giving Harinam, Diksha, Sannyas, etc., as an acharya of this mat on behalf of myself. That charge he gave to me, and those that will not follow the instructions of Srila Guru Maharaj, who cannot keep faith with him, they are no doubt glorifying Srila Guru Maharaj in many ways, saying, Srila Guru Maharaj was so intelligent, he was such a great Vaishnava, Guru Maharaj was Siddha Mahapurush, Guru Maharaj was this, Guru Maharaj was that. But if it is their conception that Srila Guru Maharaj has done so much wrong in appointing me, then in which way are they honoring him? They are saying Guru Maharaj is Siddha Purush, he is very intelligent, this, that, and telling that Guru Maharaj is supreme. But I cannot agree that his opinion is not supreme. This opinion and his desire stood continuously from 1947 to 1988, and he did not change his mood in any way. And why did Srila Guru Maharaj keep his faith to me? And why not to any of the hundreds of devotees who have come here, some of whom were very qualified with graduation, master's degrees, etc., even though I have always been very unqualified in that way. Lastly, he made his last will and testament, but before that he made 3 or 4 wills, and there he named, this person will be my successor. If he will not come back from his position of Grihastha, you must wait 5 years. But in the meantime, do not make anyone else as Guru in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat. This chair must be kept vacant 5 years for him. I came across this expression in his will a few days ago. The chair will be vacant for 5 years, but none will sit in this chair except Govinda Maharaj. That type of faith he had in me. He said, it is my desire. Who cannot respect it, who cannot follow it, who cannot keep faith with this, he must get out from my mat. I shall drag them out. These are his own words. Here is no haziness. It is all clear instruction for his devotees, for his followers, for his friends, for the newcomers. Everything he very clearly has done. Seeing the activities of others, we can now understand something of the reason why Srila Guru Maharaj did this. Now there is a section who are always saying Guru Maharaj is great, he is great, he is great, but his desire they cannot follow. So what is their faith to their Guru? Srila Guru Maharaj commented, I do not want to go into the jungle of acharyas. Rather, I will keep myself to myself, maybe in a thatched house, but that must be very clean and very quiet. And for that he made Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat. Not only that, but he did not want to make many mats. That was his desire. But I was very enthusiastic to do something for the devotees, and he mercifully gave me the instruction. Yes, you can do one in Calcutta as the devotees' transit station, and one you can do in Puri and one in Vrindavan. That is Puri, Vrindavan, and Navadvip. And don't make many mats. That was Srila Guru Maharaj's instruction. It was not his full desire that I make many mats, but looking after the eagerness of the devotees, he accepted this. And in his lifetime we have done it, so we have no problem. But now others are making a hodgepodge kind of society, and I am well aware of it. My preaching in the West is going in a very happy way. Who has seen my preaching style in the West will immediately understand that our preaching mission will grow more and more if I go there and preach, and they are afraid of that. This became clear to me some time ago in Vrindavan. However, I am keeping a very clear position with all other missionary activities. I am a servitor of Srila Guru Maharaj, and I am engaging in such service that comes to me. And if anyone wishes to join with me or the Sampradaya in that same exclusive way, we will invite them. Please come and do seva. If any ISKCON servitor who hasn't taken initiation comes to me and asks if he can do service in ISKCON, I say, yes, you can do. If you want to take initiation from me, I have no objection. But you are serving ISKCON, so serve ISKCON. If they do not abuse me, you can stay there. I am a disciple of Srila Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, and I have only one line, that is service to Srila Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. And I am continuing that preceptorial line. I am respecting all the Vaishnavas, and why will I not do so? Offense to the Vaishnava is also namaparad. I cannot do namaparad. Offense to the Vaishnava is namaparad. That I know clearly. I am very insignificant and my mission is very small, but I shall try to do the seva of the sincere seekers, as is the order of my Sri Gurudev. And I am trying as much as is possible by me. That is my final conclusion. Meanwhile, others are trying to take my friends, but I am tolerating everything. My mood is to tolerate, because without tolerating, nothing can be achieved. You must tolerate and give honor to others. I am taking everyone's feet dust on my head, and I am feeling grateful to get their feet dust. I never went to any other mat without any service to Srila Guru Maharaj. Shripad Madhusudan Maharaj would come and serve Srila Guru Maharaj every year, but without my service to Guru Maharaj, I also never went to his mat. Katwa, the place where Mahaprabhu took sannyas, is just 28 miles from here, but I never went there in 30 years. I can go to see, oh, this is the very auspicious place where Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Here is Mahaprabhu's deity, and here are many reminders of Mahaprabhu's sannyas lila. But leaving my service, I never went there. And that wasn't 1 year or 2 or 3 years, but for 30 years I did not go to Katwa. I am passing Katwa station by train, but not getting down. Similarly, in Kauna, in 20 years, I never went to see that place, even though Mahaprabhu is living there. It is just 4 stops down on the train. Nitai Gaur are there at Gauridas Pandit's house, but when a legal case came, at that time I went there every 15 days or sometimes every 7 days. And on one day only, by the desire of Srila Guru Maharaj, I went to see Gauridas Pandit's Nitai Gaur and pay my Dandavat pranams. At that time, the government wanted to take the whole mat and property of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat. And at that time, myself and Hari Charan Prabhu went there in order to resist the takeover. By the grace of Srila Guru Maharaj, we were successful. That is my mood to Srila Guru Maharaj, and who will follow that, I believe they must be benefited, for that is the real exclusive devotional line. So quite a strong expression from Srila Gurudev. And this, this is must be very early. This article. This is in the context of, Gurudev had to face a lot of difficulty after Srila Sridhar Maharaj left. There were, Gurudev had, there were persons who were, despite the fact that Srila Sridhar Maharaj clearly named Gurudev as his successor, there were persons who more or less were on a campaign, worldwide campaign to try to discredit him. And sowing a lot of confusion in the hearts of the devotees. And so, within that context, Gurudev is, clearly stating, what was the desire of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, what is the real line of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. Yeah, this is from an early Gaudiya Darshan magazine, probably like 92 or something like that. And this, Gurudev also, this was something he would mention sometimes, this very exclusive service mood, which is difficult to live up to, but we hold it as our ideal, of, not going anywhere without seva. Gurudev, his whole life was a shining example of that, and and many of us, we may go to India as tourists, but the truth is that we cannot connect substantially with the Dham unless we are there out of some service necessity. And so, we have some dispensation because our gurus have chalked out a particular route, and Gurudev has established particular ashrams, where we have shelter, so that we have some dispensation to go and do pilgrimage. But beyond that, I'm not interested. Otherwise, it is spiritual tourism, really, if we're going to be very honest. And, in Gurudev's line, is so strict that strict is maybe the wrong word, because it gives kind of a wrong impression. But in we can say, out of his exclusive attachment to Srila Guru Maharaj's service, he didn't want to go anywhere unless he had a real service necessity to go there. It was an expression of love, of attachment for him, not like a dry adherence to a particular standard or practicing. And so a few times we heard Gurudev give these examples that, Katwa, it's like a popular place, a place where Mahaprabhu took sannyas, it's a popular pilgrimage spot. And Gurudev's, our mat is very close to Katwa. It's the next stop on the train if you're coming from Calcutta. 28 years, Gurudev's passing by and he doesn't go. And actually, he was going to Katwa. He had this court case there, but he didn't go to that temple. Oh no, sorry, I'm mixing it up. Kalna. He had a court case in Kalna for like a period of 2 months, I think. Yeah, he mentions that here. Every 15 days, sometimes every 7 days, he was going there for this court case. But he never went to that, even though he was like in the same town. He didn't go to that famous temple with these beautiful deities. Until Guru Maharaj told him, oh, have you been there? Have you gone to pay your dandavat? Gurudev's, I have some level of standard that I follow, but like this is the whole, this is another level, But, it's showing us, like, for those who have real appreciation for what this is, they have this degree of caution. There's also that example of Gurudev. He went to the place of Lalita Devi, Ucha Gaon, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj took him there in 1947, soon after he joined. Srila Sridhar Maharaj personally took him on the the Vrindavan Braja Mandal Parikrama. And so one of the places they stopped at was this place of Lalita Saki. And Gurudev had a very special divine experience there. And after they've completed the whole of the parikrama, Srila Sridhar Maharaj asked Gurudev, well, what was your favorite place? And Gurudev, he identified the place of Lalita. But Gurudev, after that, he never went there again, never. He would sometimes stop the car if he was driving by and send the devotees. That Jagadananda Prabhu, that happened to him on one occasion. He was in the car with Gurudev, and Gurudev stopped and he sent the others, but he himself wouldn't go. And he said, because I had that experience, by Guru Maharaj's mercy at that time, and now I'm afraid I will spoil that experience with my mundane vision. What I had, what I received, that gift I received at that time, I'm holding that in my heart. And I don't want to go down to some material vision. Whereas, with our materialistic mentality, it's like you experience something with your senses once, and then you're on repeat. You want to do that again and again and again. And, trying to suck out all the juice. But, this is it's not a matter of us, going to get some experience, but it's a matter of, in spiritual transactions, it's about something that's descending from above. So this mood of assertion, trying to obtain, it is repulsive to that divine flow. And so Gurudev, so perfectly exhibiting that mood of caution, for one who really appreciates the nature of the substance and the way in which it descends. Because we have this curiosity, and our senses are so active and busy, and so we want to see this and hear this and taste this, and they're very busy in this superficial plane, and they're always trying to catch hold of things. But the current of dedication, it is completely opposite to that. There is just focus on, what is my offering, what is my contribution, what is my service. And if anything will come as a result, then it may come, but I'm not claiming, I'm not asserting, I'm not establishing any right. It is all descending grace. So it is a very high way to live. Very nice reminder. Okay, well, we can read a little bit more. The next chapter is very short. Chapter 21, the eternal service of Sri Gaura Saraswati. Question. Recently, your divine grace instructed that in all our temples and ashrams worldwide, our devotees should chant the Sri Saraswat Arati in addition to Sri Gaura Arati every evening. Because that Srila Sridhar Maharaj wrote that song, and it is also a very, not in line with what we're speaking about, it's also a relevant example. Srila Sridhar Maharaj wrote this extraordinary Arati song, which we're now singing every evening, but he didn't go to impose that immediately. Now everybody's going to chant this. He wrote it, as an offering. And it wasn't until Srila Sridhar Maharaj left that Gurudev established it as a daily practice. They previously, it was established that they sang it every Friday. So once a week they sang it. So otherwise they were simply singing Gaura Arati in the evening. As Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had established, and that song was written by Bhakti Thakur, of course. So they were singing it in the mat every Friday. And then Gurudev had the inspiration, and maybe Janardhan Maharaj had some part to play in that. Devashish Prabhu, I think, also mentioned that they started singing it every day here, maybe before even in Navadvip. So, then Gurudev, he adjusted it that we'll sing this every evening. So there was some, process. It wasn't like an immediate thing. Okay. So recently Your Divine Grace instructed that in all our temples worldwide, devotees should chant the Saraswat Arati in addition to Shiva Arati each evening. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj. Yes, and I feel other missions will also adopt this. There are now so many ashrams and mats. Not only Srila Guru Maharaj's ashram and mat, but so many of Srila Guru Maharaj's godbrothers and disciples have made separate ashrams and mats. There may now be 300 or 400 ashrams, but in each ashram they generally sing only Jaya Jaya Gaur Chandar Adotika Shobha. But some may sometimes sing Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugalamilam. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur composed these two songs which are of different types. One is for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and one is for Sri Sri Radha Krishna. In our Saraswat Sampradaya, the disciples and grand disciples of Srila Saraswati Thakur, you will find in almost every ashram that the Sri Vigraha are Sri Sri Radha Krishna and Mahaprabhu together on one throne. We offer arati to the one throne of Radha Krishna and Mahaprabhu, but that specific kind of arati song had not previously been composed. Srila Guru Maharaj considered that arati means the glorification of the deities, but a specific kirtan for the glorification of Sri Sri Radha Krishna together with Mahaprabhu is not found anywhere. Srila Guru Maharaj therefore composed Sri Saraswat Arati, where he explains the mood of our deities and why the deities are in this particular way on the Simhasan of our mat. So many of Srila Guru Maharaj's godbrothers appreciated this composition, and some started singing it regularly and some did not. This was the situation. Srila Guru Maharaj was not by nature eager to push others to chant the Arati song he had composed. So that's what we were just discussing. It's in such contrast to the materialistic tendency. You do one tiny little thing and everybody's got to know about it. That assertion and self-promotion, and so on and so forth, which no doubt I suffer myself from somewhat. But what is coming out from the heart of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, the most profound divine substance, and he's sharing it with one or two persons. Srila Sridhar Maharaj saw the necessity. And that's another point. He only wrote it out of real necessity, seeing that we don't have an arati song that is, describing this and then wholly describing the nature of our worship. So he wrote it, seeing the necessity for that, but he did not make any move to impose the chanting of that. So Guru Maharaj was not by nature eager to push others to chant the arati song he had composed. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur composed Jaya Jaya Gaur Chandar Adotika Shobha. And Srila Guru Maharaj did not want to disturb the mood of the devotees who chant this in their mats everywhere. Although Srila Guru Maharaj did not want to cross over what had been organized already by the whole of the Saraswat Sampradaya, he nonetheless wanted to give the full conception regarding our deities. He therefore instructed that in their honor, every Friday, Shri Saraswat Arti will be sung for the satisfaction of our deities and our divine masters. Srila Guru Maharaj was a little hesitant, but I feel it was a little shortcoming on my part that I did not assert the introduction of this Arti song on a daily basis in the presence of Srila Guru Maharaj. Now, by his grace, the inspiration has come to me that this Saraswat Arti is the real Arti of our deities. Very, very beautiful. So because he was shy to make any assertion, he just instructed it will be sung on Fridays, once a week. And then Gurudev, later expanded that. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chander is only for Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva. So if we sing only this one song, some incompleteness will always be felt. Srila Guru Maharaj wanted to make our song complete. I started to feel this very strongly, and I mentioned it to Sripad Janardhan Maharaj. He immediately declared that he will start the singing of Shri Saraswat Arti on a daily basis in our Santa Cruz ashram. Sripad Sagar Maharaj then followed suit. Okay, so first in California, and then in London, and then in Navadvip. It's very beautiful. It shows like how faithful and how eager they were to please Gurudev. Gurudev just mentioned the idea, and then immediately they started, even before Gurudev started himself. I understood that it will not disturb the mood of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because we shall first sing Jaya Jaya Gaura Chander. No doubt it will take a little more time to chant both songs instead of one, but what is the purpose of our life without the service and satisfaction of Shri Shri Guru Gauranga? Certainly there is no difficulty for us to spend a little more time for their service in the Arti. And actually, we don't need to sing Gaura Arti. We don't need to sing Jaya Jaya Gaura Chander, because Srila Sridhar Maharaj's Arti is fully complete. However, Gurudev maintains the chanting of that because he wanted, he's feeling to honor. That practice has already been going on, and we don't want to dishonor Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we're singing both for that reason. The purport of Shri Saraswat Arti gives full Krishna consciousness to us. It perfectly explains the mood of Radha Govinda and the mood of Mahaprabhu. Included, there is some description of their pastimes and why they have manifested in this form of the deities. Such clarification is given in this song. Question: why did Srila Guru Maharaj ask it to be sung specifically on Friday evenings? Srila Govinda Maharaj: Friday is considered to be a good day. Brihaspati Bar and Sukravar, Thursday and Friday, are both pure auspicious days according to astrology. However, on Brihaspati Bar Barbella, Thursday afternoon, some environmental or general disturbance may come around the time of Arati. This is the external cause. The internal is that Shukra is known as a teacher in Raga Marg, and Brihaspati as a teacher of Vidhi Marg. We are followers of Raga Marg, so he chose Sukrabar, Friday. So all of these days, it's like they have some presiding deity. Is it like every name is coming from a deva? Is it like that? So Shukra, I don't even know Shukra.
Venus.
Shukracharya. Shukracharya. Yeah, that name rings a bell. Question: do you wish that this Shri Saraswat Arti to be sung in all our temples around the world, whether they have Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna or not? Srila Govinda Deva Goswami: yes, even if they have only Mahaprabhu. However, in special cases, the deities may sing other specific songs for the deities in their temple. For example, in Puri, where we have Shishi Nitai Chaitanya Dev, for them I composed Shishi Nitai Chaitanya Arati. In particular, we give specific honor to what our Guru Maharaj composed. He gave much honor with respect to his Guru Maharaj's songs. So we shall give that type of respect to our Guru Maharaj's songs. He taught us by his example, and we must carry out his teachings. And that Arati song is the most extraordinary Arati song. In another talk about the song, Gurudev described it as the most perfect Arati song. It's so beautiful. So, what Kaviraj Goswami has revealed in Chaitanya Charitamrita about the ontological nature, ontological position of Mahaprabhu, that Srila Sridhar Maharaj is so wonderfully, describing and bringing out in his Arati song. Maybe we can so beautiful, describing this Mahaprabhu's Krishna's stealing of the heart and halo of Radharani, and thereby becoming enhanced. Radhara sampadayami Gauranga Sundar. In the wealth of, Shri Radha, with her wealth I become Gauranga Sundar. And, demonstrating his supreme position. Because in the Vedic culture, the most honorable person will be seated on the right side, So, okay, well, they're not here. The most honorable person will be seated on the right, and they'll have the more junior persons on their left. So in the way that the deities are seated, Mahaprabhu is put in the most, senior position. So we have Radha Shama. No, where is it? Radha Bhava Kantiyangi. Yeah, here. Radha Bhava Kantiyangi Kodi Palomate Dakine Asana Rasa Karimade. Taking the heart and halo, the Bhava and Kanti of Radharani, he's seated Dakine Asana. He's seated on the right side to show, his the superiority of his rasa. Madha Bishta Rupa Radha Hridaya Mandire Gauranga Bajile Shushtu Sporti Payataya. Such a beautiful line. The most cherished form of myself, it lives in, Krishna is saying, the most cherished form of Krishna is living in the heart of Sri Radha. In the temple, Hridaya Mandir, in the temple of Sri Radha's heart. And through worship of Gauranga, that will be revealed. Erupa Roti Brahma Shambhu Agochar Gaura Bhakta Kipapacha Matra Siddhisar. This type of arati, it is beyond the vision of Brahma, Shiva. All the devas, they cannot conceive, they cannot see such a thing. Gaura Bhakta Kipapata Matra. Only by the grace of a Gaura Bhakta, devotee of Mahaprabhu. And so beautiful, so perfect. Okay, well, we have been requested that our class will be from 7 to 7:45. So we will conclude there, and that's the end of that chapter. And next time we hear from Affectionate Guidance, I think we've reached chapter 23. Wait. what happened. I'm a bit lost now. We finished chapter 21, so tomorrow we'll come to 22. The voice of Sri Chaitanya Dev. Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Radharbu, would you like to sing?
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Sangha Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Devidasi Ki Jai,
Jai.
Jai Vishnupada, Srila Bhakti Rasa Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai,
Jai.
Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai,
Jai.
Rupanuga Guru Bhar Ki Jai,
Jai.
Namashad Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai,
Jai.
Samaveda Vaishnav Mandala Ki Jai,
Jai.
Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai,
Jai.
Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai,
Jai.
Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai,
Jai.
Jai Gaur Brahmanandi
Hari Bol.